Hey, good morning, family. Yep. Okay. So for today, yeah, we'll work with let's start with questions you have, right? Let's start with questions you have. So if you have any question, just drop it. So we'll take care of it. All right? I can see you, Mark. Oh, good morning, Hannah. Good morning. So let's start with questions you have before I dive into what we've got for today. So just drop it. This is six. No question. All right. If you trade good well, right, then I have more of say an approach. How do you call it, a strategy? But I'd like you to observe. Okay. Let's see. Drawing trend lines. Drawing trend lines. Okay, let me assume you're quite new, right? Mark, you're quite new. Drawing trend lines. Okay. Okay. All right. So um first things first. Yeah, when it comes to trend lines, right? All you need when it comes to trend lines, all you need is observe your chart, whatever time frame you're looking at, right? So if I'm looking at this bearish chart here, of course, I believe you know how to pick your tools, right? Let's say you don't have it here, you can simply come to this area, either with your phone, with your laptop, whatever it is, select your trend line, right? You can always, if you're using your laptop, you can always start them. That's favorite. You can still do the same thing on um your smartphone as well. So let's say have your trend line. All you need to point out is areas of interest, right? So let's say I see points, all right? So what do I have to do? Hmm. Just draw. Now, what am I targeting? I'm just so let me change this to yellow. Okay. See this? Now I'm more interested in these 3 points, or let's say perhaps these 4 points. So you choose the area I want to concern with. Yeah, so I'm concerned with this one, two, three. And of course, this first touch here. So for these first three touches here, the market have been buying, right? So for this what's it called? Now, if this zone is still respected, that means there's a high probability of gold buying today, right? You can see the first zone, it came, bought. Second one came, bought. Played around. The third time, it came, bought. The fourth time, you see, is respecting it. This is his trend line, right? Is respecting it. Now, but if it happens to break this trend line, you should be expecting something like this. Mhm. You should be expecting something like this. It will respect back the trend line and, of course, start going down, right? So that's what we're expecting here. If it breaks it. This is more like a diagonal break and retest. Yeah. This same thing is what will happen when you have something like this. You have the market respecting a support for a very long time, playing around. Hmm. Second time, no, third time, and finally decides to break this support. So what you expect is a retest, then of course a sell will follow. Right. So when this is the market. Right. So this is something that happened here. If we decide to tilt this, you can see it will just turn into a trend line immediately. Right? Let me see if I can. Let me go that. Right? So now let's say after drawing this trend line, you decided to just take a buy right at this particular point. You're in profit already. Right? So this same thing happens everywhere. Now let's go to another different area. Let's go to another different area. Okay, let's use this one I marked here. Let's use this one I marked here. Right? So first off, I observed, yeah, I think I saw this on I think this was on a higher time frame. Let me see. I think I saw this on a 1 hour time frame. Okay, yeah. It was on a 1 hour time frame. So I saw this reaction one, right? Reaction two, and this third one. Let me zoom it out so it will make sense to you. So the rule is simple, right? If the market keeps rotating the trend line, keep selling. So I saw this one, market sold well, two, then the third one, right? My aim was if this zone is broken, in fact, I was actually waiting for a buy. Yeah. I knew it was going to break, but I was waiting for the time it will break to give me that confirmation. Okay. I wasn't looking for sales at this particular time. I was waiting for when this trend line will be broken, right? And you can see here, there's something important you need to observe when drawing your trade lines. Wait, let me show you. Drawing your trade line like this is not really valid, right? Because right here, you have a candle closing above. So that is not it. All right. So the best thing is to either, you can tell yourself, okay, I want to pick the wicks or I want to pick the tip. It depends on what you want to do, basically. All right. So in this case, we we are sticking with the wick, right? So in our trend line, we don't want to see any part that has a candle closing above it for it to be valid. Exactly. Exactly. Right? Exactly. Now, these are two things, right? So, but the most important thing is let there be no much weak closing above, right? And also work with the time frame you are doing your trend line on. It's also very important because this week here now, if you go to a lower time frame, these are lots of movements on like lots of candle movement on the lower time frame, right? So let's say in this case we have, you can see this one at the tip, this one almost the tip. This one is just one that went above, right? Then this one the last tip. So I'm working with these three. And when it comes to trend lines, three reactions are enough, right? In fact, three reactions are the standard. Two is not enough, right? Just if you can trace three zones or 3 points, now use that to determine. Okay, use that to determine. So since I had this, I was waiting for let me show you something else I was looking for. Yeah. All right. I was waiting for a break, right? I was waiting for a break. The same way. Okay, right? Okay, you broke here, right? So I was not ready for my buy. I was ready for my buy. But I needed to do something next. I needed to get an area where the market will get to and respect, of course, a support zone, right? A support zone. And this I'm just using what I did then. I think I've really forgotten what I did then, but I'm trying to determine what I was thinking at the time, right? So I can see this line here. This is a clear support. We had like multiple reactions on this zone before it broke. So this breaking here, right? Is like, okay, you know what? This is valid, right? First of all, right? First of all, the rule of trend is lower lows, lower highs, high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Yeah. At any point, we have so this is if you look at this is a downtrend. But when the trend changes, that's when you see this low being broken. This area is very, very critical, right? So great importance. This particular break here. So great importance. So if a zone you're looking at, let's say this is a clear downtrend. In fact, let me even support it with a trend line so it will make sense somehow. Let's say this is a trend, whatever it is. All right. And of course, the trend got broken here. This color is too, let me see. Let me see what you down. Yeah, I love that. I love that. Uh-huh. Exactly. You're flowing. I like how you're flowing, right? So this is very important, right? So of course, when this happens, what you're waiting for is a retest within this zone, right? I use fair value gap most of the time, right? So what I'm looking for is a fair value gap within this zone. And of course, I'm good. To make my entry more precise, I can add what is it called? Fibonacci, right? I can add Fibonacci to it. Like I'll say once I get, I think this one will be better. I'm just adding something. This is like this a little bit off what we are talking about, right? I can add once the market comes with this zone, yeah, I'm waiting for a pullback, and my entry will be any point below the 50 zone. So this will actually be my best entry. What am I gonna do? I'm just showing you. Using this thing I drew now. Any point below here, my buy. This low will be my, of course, SL. Then I target either the 100% or the 150% of the Fibonacci retracement. Right? It always happens this way, right? In fact, I think over time I'll get to show you how to use Fibonacci, not just the retracement, but the extension as well, right? To actually get very good precise entries and targets, right? So back to what we're talking about. So as you can see here, I don't want it to be too, so it won't be confusing, right? It broke, right? So since it broke, I already know that, okay, yeah, this guy is valid. So what am I waiting for? A support zone, right? Mm. But I'm not going to buy immediately at this particular point. Of course, this point actually gave rise to this, right? Support came one, second one, this one broke again, came at this particular point. This could perhaps be my entry, right? And boom, what happened? Market disappeared. Like the market never came back to this point. Never. You can see. Like will. Right? So you can see how powerful having a good trend line is because sometimes you can draw some trend lines and the market will just come break it like the trend line didn't even exist. Yet market can just come break the trend line like it never existed. In fact, there's another powerful trend line I got on on the Dow, but that was last year, just to show you how powerful it is as well. That was on the Dow on the daily time frame, just to still show you how powerful the trend line is. Yeah, this is it. This was last year, right? This was yeah, February 2025, roughly a year ago. It's crazy. Yeah, I can still remember as of this time, right? That was trading at its all-time high, right? And of course, hits a double top, right? Hit a double top. Then what happened? I saw this. You know, when you see these are what's it called, inclined angles also. So I saw this. I knew that it's just a matter of time, right? If that first of all, I was looking for a sell. That's one, right? Because I already have a double top signal here. And whenever I say double top, it's a very good sell, right? And I also have perhaps a good support zone, which I think the market will want to get to, right? Before continuing its buy, right? So I saw this. What did I do? I marked it, right? I saw the trend above. If you observe clearly, I was just selecting the tip, right? Then of course I saw the one below, right? I marked that. So I think this lower one was on a 4 hour time frame also. I marked it. What happened? I think on the 20th, yeah, of boom, it broke, right? Broke. Now see another interesting thing. This is another support zone I got, right? Markets came. For the most part, it didn't really, most didn't break below this zone. I know you can see some careless candles. What happened there? The market broke. This is daily time frame, retested. I don't know if you can see that retest. I want it to be clear, right? Retested the zone at this particular point. Wait, I'm coming. And see, retested it at this particular point. Boom, started selling, right? It sold down. That's US debt. Sold aggressively. Like this is the daily time frame. You can imagine days of this market tanking. From 20th February, it tanked till um 10th April, right? Before the market started recovering to hit a new all-time high right now. Let's see. So that's I'm just showing the power of having a very good trend line. What would your entry point? My entry point is actually on that road test, right? If I'm looking to sell this right now, my entry point is always at the retest. No, break and retest, I hold it at a high esteem, right? My entry point is actually on that retest. Yeah, since I have this zone, my entry point, I'll just have a sell limit order right here waiting. So if you're talking about entry points, it's gonna just be that's right here. Then of course have my SL. This is so large actually. Right. You're working with the data time frame. It's like how many points? 400 and something. It's like so large, right? Then shoot for whatever point you want to get to. Right? So break and retest are always the main deal. Like the retest points. In fact, let me show you. I don't want to deviate fully from trend line, but I want to show you the power of retest. Yeah. And now essentially it is when you get the right one, right? Let's go back to gold. Let's go back to gold. Um, 15 minutes. So first of all, now this is a bonus tip, right? If I show you my phone now, okay, I think I'm already on a short. I'm shorting gold right now. Now let me give you a bonus tip. Yeah, observe the out. In fact, this is more like an assignment. Observe, right? Observe gold by 6:30. In fact, I want you to observe this either on a 15 minutes time frame or 30 minutes time frame. This is a bonus tip, right? Every 6:30, right? Or every 5:30 UK time, there is always a huge pump. In fact, there is always a huge liquidity pumped in the market, right? We are looking at catching at least 10 to 15 pips or 10 to 20 pips. Some persons will say it's 100 to 200 pips, but I like calling it 20. I don't like adding those. Other. When I mean 10 to 20 pips, the market can move from 5,380 if it's for sale to 5,360. All right. Now, the things to put into consideration is if the market is at the top end of the range, sell. If it's at a support, in fact, to get it in a almost a layman term, right? To make you understand what if it's at a support area, buy. If it's at a resistance area, sell. Right? So right now, just when the session started, this is 6:15, like I sold earlier. This is 6:30, right? And of course, the market is at a resistance zone. So though my trend line is telling me to buy, but I'm seeing areas of interest where I think this market will get to. So observe, let's see. My target is right here, right? This is I want this market to drop. So this is like 5312. And if you are to measure from this very point, so this is roughly 41 pips or 410 pips. I just it. So with this particular thing, if you're using 0.01 lot size, it's already $40 for you. With 0.1, it's already $400. All right. If you're using one lot size, this is 4K. That's just what it is. All right. So let's observe. This is what I'm looking at. Let me just have my there's no need. This is what I'm looking at for the market to drop at least this morning, right? Based on what I just told you. Now I was trying to tell you something about break and retest. All right. There's another approach. I used to trade gold as well, but this is basically during um you New York Open, right? So I had my zone of interest, right? Which is this and this. If you watch this, this is like a candle range, right? I think I can talk about that on a later session, right? But however, just listening, yeah. So I can either, once this zone is broken, in fact, to make more sense on a 5 minutes time frame, no, I can either choose, right? Once this zone is broken, I can either choose to sell, right? When you retest this particular zone, this particular point. Now, if I have chosen to sell at this particular point, remember, I'm not chasing too much. I'm chasing just between 10 to 20 pips, right? So let's do the calculation. So the retest here happened, and this is 23 pips. So if I've taken this, my TP will just be here. And this is a smooth sell. Within 15 minutes or so, my market has hit my TP and I am done for that day. This is how my strategy I use to trade gold actually works, right? All right. So I'm just showing the power of um your zone or area test. Now there's another approach here now. If you look at this chart, I don't know if you trade okay. do I determine my TP on MT5 since it works with the price, not time? Okay. Mm, 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 mm. Now, this is it. Now, when analyzing any market, right? So let's say, okay, let's use this particular zone now. Let's say you entered your sell right here, right? So you entered your sell at the current level where the market is. You can short. You entered your sell at this particular point, right? And you had your SL, let's say, now it's quite simple. And let's say you want to target the same zone I'm targeting, right? This is for good, right? Good. Let's say your entry is 5349, right? Your stop loss is plus 20, 5369. And your TP is right here. 53. You can choose 5319. So you can simply say that's in your five, your SL, 5369. Your TP, 5319, right? And just simply point it out like that. Allow it. Yeah. When trading, of course, I don't expect you to trade gold all the time. Let's say when trading like let's say USD JPY, right? You see a zone. Let's say you want to take a buy. Let's say you took a buy right here and your target is top. Now, another thing you also need to observe when setting your TPs are the difference in prices, right? But one thing I know is that for the most part, okay, now if it's a bit confusing, I don't know. I have my phone here. Um, on your MT5, right? If you have a trade running, I'm just showing you something now. I don't have any MT5 here, right? On your MT5, you have a trade running, right? You can, if you can't, if it's quite hard for you to get the precise point, open this same chart on your MT5. You've already done your analysis on TradingView, and you have your TP. Your TP is your entry is right here. Where's that one? You bought from here, and your TP is, of course, right here. That's this line. Let me mark it out so it won't be your TP just at this point, right? Mind you, at this point, you're not interested in the weeks, right? Your SL is, you know, just below here. You can go to your MT5 and replicate same thing, right? Just adjust your SL. So adjust your TP, like while on the screen, yeah? You can adjust your TP to this very price. Or there is this arrow. There's this plus arrow on MT5. Wait, no, it's here. This arrow. There's an MT5 close to an F. Understand? Just tap on it, drag it till you get to this particular same points on your MT5. Know the exact price. Yeah. Then go and set it there. Now these are the best ways because if you see the price at this particular point on your MT5 won't exactly, in fact, let's check it. Let me check mine right now. USDJPY chart 5 minutes. Okay, I'm just doing exactly what I told you now. 157,413. The price I have on mine is 157,413. The price I have here is um price I have here is I'm doing the same thing. The price I have here is 157,417. Are you seeing it? I'm having like point 4 points difference. All right. So perhaps if I set 157,417 in mind, there's a high chance that the market might get to the price and not really close. Okay, I'm just showing you the best way to navigate this. All right. Hope it made sense. Yeah, I hope it made sense. Did you get that, Hannah? Okay. Uh, Okay. 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 All right. Session will end very, very soon. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. So I believe you got something today. One, right? The importance of break and retest. Yeah. Number two, I think on a later session, we'll talk about FVGs. Number two, how to get very good um trend lines. If I'm working with this, how to put very good trend lines, right? Let me adjust this. One, two, three. Boom, this one broke. First of all, I'm already looking for a sell, yeah? And this is breaking. So perhaps I get a pullback, then falling. This is my target zone. And this is my target zone. Let's watch how this one will play out, yeah? So these are the things. Having a good trend line. Now, if the trend line doesn't make sense on a time frame you're looking at, do well to go to a higher time frame or a lower time frame. Right? If it doesn't make sense at the time frame you're looking at, go to a higher time frame or a lower time frame. So you can see how clear it is on this lower time frame. You have one, two, have the third one. And what happened here? The market broke, respected this, broke, and is respecting it. Right? So how can you determine an accurate target zone? And do I say I have time for that? Right? So one of the ways to determine an accurate target zone is to simply know where know where there are multiple rejections. When I mean rejections, I mean a former support, right? Can have your target at a former support. Now, my target right now is on the 15 minutes, right? And I saw a fair value gap on the 15 minutes, right? I know this market will still buy, but I know it want to tap into this fair value gap before leaving. Fair value gaps are imbalances in the market. And for every imbalance must be balanced out, right? Feel me? So I'll use it as my target, right? Or if I don't want to risk too much, I can use this point right here as my target, right? This very point, because I know liquidity, since it's a support zone, you can see it's like a very good support zone, all right? Since it's a support zone, the market came, respected here, disappeared, came back here, respected, disappeared. Since it's a support zone, the market will want to take out liquidity. So I know that all this will drag the market down, right? If I don't aim too far, I can see aim for another one lower here. The same thing, right? This is a support zone, and for every support, there's a liquidity line below it, like we are seeing here, right? So I'll simply target it. So this I'm showing you how you can get your target. And if you're not aiming too much, from here, from this point, from this point to this point, this is already 18 pips. This is actually good, right? 18 pips, quite good, right? 18 pips, quite good, right? So that's just it. So I've shown you how to get your targets, right? Our time is up. We'll continue. Thought it would be like a buy on HFX or normal HFX rally. Yes, exactly. It's likely. Yeah, this is just for gold. Yeah, we're analyzing gold. That's broken it already. So if this was your TP, You already hit your TP. Yeah, this is what you're looking at here just for gold. Just for gold. And the same thing applies when taking your HFX. It's just that in HFX, you don't need to, all you need to just take your cell and allow it to run for 15 minutes. So if you, let's say this was an HFX and you took your cell at this point and your expiration was for 15 minutes. Boom. 15, okay. This is 15 minutes. If we check the time, I think we still have some time left, right? Boom, you'll see. We still have some time left. It's coming to sweep this one as well. We still have some time left. If you have taken the trade for 5 minutes, you can tell that you're in profit, at least deep profit, right? It is it is an uptrend, right? But we are encountering what we call a short-term downtrend before the uptrend continues. So that's what we are taking advantage of. Our trend line was broken, and we're taking it alongside a strategy I trade as well at this time, which is quite um good, right? So that is it. Well, family, of course, there's still tomorrow. Do well to join in tomorrow. We'll continue from where we stopped here. All right. So cheers and have an amazing day. Okay. Thank you. All right, family.